up, guys? This is Azrae Stevens, and you're tapping in with the committee.
Big shout out to the committee. Y'all hold it down for us.
Shout out to the committee.
Come on, rocking with the committee. The committee. We committee.
Some people ain't gonna like it, and some people will.
Shay, your name me and Kelly Price is.
Oh my God, I forgot to change it.
Hey, girls.
Hey y'all, what's tea?
Sorry to keep y'all waiting.
It was 10 minutes. Don't do us, y'all. We be on time for spaces, okay?
We do. We be on time for spaces. We do.
The door to the church have finally opened. Please get to your seats.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Hey, ID.
ID, what time is it there, sister? Grab your wine.
Yes, everybody. I think my sister's in here. To my sister, I'm drinking your wine.
Already finished this bottle. Well, we're about to finish.
It's a fine time to tell her.
I'm about to say, like.
So, yeah. Thanks.
It's tournament time, girls.
It is. It's March Madness.
It's tournament time. I'm excited.
I'm in the styrofoam, spend a day to get my mind blown.
Oh, period. Period. Okay, let me take my first sip before we get started.
Finally catching a live. What up, Ty?
Girl, you don't need no water.
I don't give a damn if the Stella is juice, baby. I'm gonna drink it.
Period.
You got a bachelor's and a master's in Spanish and oh Lord. Okay, maybe all right. Come on, educators.
Period.
We on committee people time. Look here, you know how we do. We started early for y'all. Y'all know we usually don't be on so late at night. What up, Quentin?
Also, just make sure my nephew Cupid is being well taken care of. Don't play with me.
Nephew.
Oh, the new dog. So cute.
The dog's name is Cupid. That is so cute.
Don named him.
Am I moving in slow motion? Because I'm on my hotspot.
No, you do.
No, you look regular.
Okay.
You look regular.
Slim thick.
Uh-huh.
Don't start.
No, coach, I can't lose no weight.
Don't tell everybody that story. Hush. Golly.
I'm gonna tell it. Y'all ready to get started?
Yes.
Period. Okay, so welcome to the space. Welcome to the YouTube. Welcome to the vibe. Welcome to the moment. Because we are definitely about to chat it up and chop it up about tournament time. Like, in order to get to the big dance, you got to win your little dance. So let's do a little dance, make a little love, and get down tonight. So while we talking about the little dances, who do we want to start off with, y'all? What tournament is most intriguing to y'all, or maybe that we want to start with? Who y'all like?
Since we got boots on the ground at SEC, Lo, you want to start? Give us how the day went.
Yes, I could do that. So, first of all, it was Kids Day. They made sure all the kiddies from the area got to come to the game, which was dope. It was loud. It was lit because, you know, the kids, they cheer for everybody, anybody, whenever. I mean, it was little kids up to like middle schoolers walking around. So that was really dope. The games were interesting. Like, you know, I feel like the SEC is kind of flown under the radar this year, which is cool, but it did not go how I envisioned it. First of all, when I saw that, well, I'll say this. When I saw Georgia and Kentucky, I was inclined to lean more with Georgia because Kentucky has just been abysmal. Not Georgia has been much better, but child, I just leaned to Georgia. Then on the way, I saw that Maddie Shear was out, and Maddie Shear gets buckets for Kentucky. And I'm like, okay, it could go one or two ways. Either Kentucky's going to look awful, but you know how we always say the other team I prepare for a Maddie Shear. I prepare that the ball is going to go through Maddie Shear. The passes are going to come through Maddie Shear. I'm going to shut her down. And it's going to mess everything else up. So sometimes it works like a charm when your best player is out. Sometimes it doesn't. And it worked for Kentucky because Anaya Russell was getting busy. Asia Petty was doing her thing in the paint. I will say for Georgia, they had a dud. Like I will say they got outplayed, but one of the main reasons Javin could not hit a shot, y'all. I mean, what happened?
You just come
Y'all
back.
see me?
It's a little slow. It's a little slow.
Everybody went blank. Can y'all see me?
Keep talking.
Yes, I can see you.
You're good.
Okay. Javin was getting the shots that she. Can y'all hear me or see me?
We can hear you. Your screen's just going slow. That's all.
Okay. The girlies, Javin she just was not on, and it threw them off. They couldn't do nothing without her. It was really bad. Then we have Florida and Mizzou. At first, I thought Florida was gonna piss me off because they ended up pissing me off. But they got in there, they got going. Haley Frank was awful. I don't even think she might have finished maybe with 8. She could not get anything going, and the shots that she did shoot were not going in. They did a really good job on her. Aaliyah Matharu had a better game. She didn't get in foul trouble. She wasn't turning that bitch over. So Florida, they impressed me. Now I think they might have used all their juice, but we gonna see.
When I turned on the Florida Mizzou game, they said Haley Frank, like it was halftime, and they were like, she only took 1 shot. And I was like, damn, 1 shot? Like that is some good ass defense from Florida to hold her to just not even like making 1 shot, but just taking 1 shot. That's some good defense.
Yeah, so let's keep talking. So we prepared some questions for each team, or just to kind of overview the conference. So Lo gave us a good start to what we saw today. So we're going to jump into it. Now that the regular season is over, which team has surprised us the most in the SEC going into tournament time? This can be whether good or bad, but which teams, when y'all say, okay, the season's done, it's postseason time, which teams do we like, ooh, this was really good, or this was really bad?
Ole Miss surprised me in a good way. I thought at the injury to KK Deans, I didn't know if they would figure it out, but they stayed the course. I think they got some dogs, and you know how I am, like great offense or not, if you got some dogs, you can always make something shake. Flip side, Texas A&M, trash. I mean trash. But I think a lot of that hinged on Janiyah being good, and Janiyah. And y'all know that's my daughter, but she wet the bed all season. And then who else? Oh, Mississippi State, they beat LSU and then was like, okay, season over.
That's it. That's it. Not too much. Because even if you're not having a good day, don't you dare go messing up somebody else's. That's the problem.
For me, I think the team that surprised me the most was Alabama. I did not have Alabama finishing in the top 4. I had them like middle of the pack, maybe top tier middle of the pack, because I still thought they could be competitive, but I did not have them finishing top 4. So shout out to them. I didn't see the vision. I kind of still don't, but the fact that they're in the top 4, like that's an accomplishment. So shout out to them.
Shay, you got somebody?
That I say that again? Sorry.
Good or bad SEC team?
ACC, good or bad?
SEC,
good or bad? I thought Mississippi State was gonna give me more. I'm rooting for Purcell. That's my that's I was rooting for him, so I thought they was gonna give me more, but they was kind of in, and then it just went like, girl, we not okay. Good surprise, obviously South Carolina. Auburn was a good surprise to me.
Yeah,
Auburn was like, yeah, we gonna hoop. So I give them that, but Mississippi State let me down.
I'm gonna have to. I shouldn't be surprised, but Tennessee.
bad.
Bad. Even in a down year, Tennessee shouldn't finish no lower than a 3 seed in the SEC, in my opinion. Like even in a down year, and I felt like yes, they've had injuries, but Kelly has basically either been top 5 or top 10 in the portal every year, basically for the last 3 years. And when you bring in a player like Rakia and you get her for 3 years in your program, you got to do something. Let me make sure. 2 years, right? 2 years, 3 years.
Who, Rakia? This is year 2.
Okay, year 2.
Yeah.
So when you
Right.
get a, like Rakia for, I feel like, but yeah, you can replay it for 2 years at least. You got to do something. Like they made the run to the ACC championship last year, but even that felt like a consolation prize for how terrible they were the majority of the season. And this season, I feel the very same way. Like whatever they do at this point will be like a consolation prize for how rough they've looked at times this season. And we can blame a lot of things, but I think it boils down to the fact that that program needs to look in another direction potentially, or really get boots on the ground once this season is over, because it has not been pretty. Okay, let's move it right along. Well, let's look at the bracket. Which matchups intrigue us the most? Now that we know who's won, Kentucky got the upset and Florida got the dub against Missouri. So now our second round is set. Lowe's going to be in the building to watch these games for us tomorrow. So what matchups intrigue us from second round to potentially championship in the SEC?
Obviously Auburn, LSU, right? Like that. I think LSU will win, but I don't think it's going to be easy because of how well Auburn played them at home, and then to turn around and go into LSU and only lose by like 6. That's pretty good. So that means you're figuring them out and you know you can beat them, and so now you're headed to neutral court. And so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Tennessee, Bama. Bama beat Tennessee. I think Tennessee should have won that game. So will Tennessee win it? I don't know. But that one could be interesting too.
So I like what you said, but is Auburn potentially looking over Arkansas? Could Arkansas potentially knock Auburn out before LSU on a look-ahead game?
I think they could.
Everyone wants to see the Auburn LSU matchup, but Arkansas hasn't been with Talia Scott. Does she play? Against South Carolina, they were down more players. I think they were down 2 more players outside of Talia in the South Carolina matchup. So what does an Arkansas team look like maybe without Talia Scott? Can they get a win against Auburn?
If they can get the threes to fall, because they're going to take a lot of threes. But if Auburn's defense kind of sets the tone and they're allowed to play physical, then I think Auburn should win. But if Arkansas can get those threes to fall, then the game will be interesting for sure.
And they're going to have to keep Sailor off the boards.
Yeah.
Big time. That to me, the strength to me is in Auburn's guards. They're going to have to do something with Sailor on the boards for sure.
Okay, then one last one. Vandy. Looking at Vandy, they've been, they had a really good start. They look to be potentially making their first tournament in the Shea Ralph era. Things are looking up for that program. They're going to get Florida. If Vanderbilt gets past Florida, can they make Ole Miss sweat?
I'm going to go with no. Only not because of them, but because of how well Ole Miss has closed the season. Like, we all know Ole Miss defense has been something that's been consistent for them. But to end the season, it looks like they're starting to figure out what they're doing on offense. And so if they can continue going in the right direction offensively while their defense is still doing what it does, then Ole Miss, to me, should be fine in that game.
All right, so I'm gonna save our remaining questions for our wrap up, so we can go ahead and jump conferences because these last questions are gonna be good for.
Hold on, I do got a hot. So Kentucky is gonna play Tennessee, and my dream mess is that Kentucky wins because you know how Kyra get when the tournament get going, and then Kyra is like, "All right, give me the job."
You write fan fiction.
So you're saying
what's the website?
Wattpad? Yeah. So you're saying Kentucky's gonna beat Tennessee, and then Kyra's gonna be like,
Kyra gonna ask for the head assistant coaching job. That's what she.
That is such a TV.
I want. I don't know, but that's the type of mess I want. Okay, go ahead. We can.
What's that show? All American. That's giving very much.
No, facts.
It is.
Not my prediction is giving power. WBBB power. Not what strain is it, Shay? Okay, Victoria. Like it's a lot.
Shay's definitely Reddit would go crazy. Okay, so let's move on since I like to do geographical mapping. So let's move a little bit west, but stay in the South. It's Big 12 time, ladies. Let's jump into the Big 12 tournament. Now we know that this one doesn't start, with everybody.
Annoying.
As our other P5s.
Yeah, why they do that? Who they say they are?
I don't like it. But
I don't think it helps them, to be honest. I always thought they should change it because they're the only team that's playing when everyone's resting, and then they go into March Madness. Maybe fatigue, I don't know, but I've never really thought it was smart.
So maybe let's consider that. This team gets a week of practice. These teams get a week of practice before tournament time, then they stay in tournament time. Could it potentially be helpful to get a week to plan for both sets of tournament and use your conference tournament as a glorified practice? Yes, you want to win, but could it potentially say, I want to put these sets in. I want to work out these kinks in my tournament. We're going to use the Big 12 tournament as our, does this work trial run. That way, when you go into the big dance, you've worked out the kinks, and now you can really just put them on the floor against the competition.
I think you could do that now, too. The girls at SEC could be doing the same thing.
It's been a while since a Big 12 team made a run, so I'm gonna just blame it on
2019.
I'm gonna just blame it on that. I'm gonna blame it on them playing tournaments late, but
yeah,
I don't
know. Okay,
it's odd because
it is odd. Okay,
Jesus, my bad.
You're good. What teams intrigue us going into that tournament? And I'm gonna give y'all a little cursor. West Virginia and Baylor are not top 4 seeds. So those teams will have to play. They will have to play while the other top 4 seeds get their rest. Do we think a JJ Quinterly led West Virginia or a Garth Walker, Sarah Andrews led Baylor team gets to a Big 12 championship game?
I'm rooting for JJ.
West Virginia, yes. Baylor, I'm just not sold on. I'm not sold on Baylor. I think they've had really good games, and then they've also had really bad games. So I don't know. I can't really
Okay. Good luck.
Baylor, y'all know.
That low curse been cursing.
No. It was not a curse. No, the big.
Okay.
Shay, do you have the bracket for that one?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be matchup for them.
This will help me get through my thoughts better.
Hold up, this the men, sister.
Jesus.
The men.
Just kidding, y'all.
That's okay.
We'll be back.
How you know that quick?
Maybe because I'm smart. But while we're getting ready with our technical difficulties, I feel like the Big 12 low key has been one of the best conferences for freshman performances in the country this season on an underrated tip. Like when you have Madison Booker winning Freshman of the Year and Player of the Year as a true freshman, rookies are living. You got our Audie Crooks, you got Addie Brown, you got Sahar Williams at Oklahoma. These are 4 of the top freshmen in the country. Could any one of those 4 freshmen have a big breakout I'm here type of tournament game?
I think all of them might need to.
Shay, I just sent it to you on Twitter.
For all of their teams, I think they may need to. If they want to make something shake, I feel like, I don't want to say it's mandatory, but I think it would be very nice for all of their teams, to be honest.
So which one do you think could have the biggest impact? Because we know Madison is running the point. So she's got to have an impact every night, even for them to just play. But which one of those four, like not regular, like 20, 10, 6 or like 18, 75, but which one of those four can maybe drop 30 or maybe go like 20 boards type Audie Crooks night? Like which one of those or Sahar Williams can get
the only one that I can see in my head going for 30 is Madison. I can't picture anybody else going for 30. But if I don't remember the girl name, the other freshman at Iowa State,
Addie.
Her. If she goes off and Audie does her thing still, that's
okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't see a 30 piece from any of them. Maybe Maddie, but I think if Addie can go off and do her thing, and Audie still, that's too close. Still I think they can, do well.
Okay, so this is a little drinking game. If any of those four freshmen go off for a 30 piece, 2 shots.
2? We can do that.
2 shots.
2 is not bad. I feel like for me with Madison, I don't know if I want her to go for 30 just because I feel like her going, like if she's hunting shots like that, that means that Texas is really struggling. I think when she's able to like involve other people and still get her rocks off, they're a better team. But like that Oklahoma game, she like down the stretch in that after halftime, it just felt like she was stressing to get looks because Oklahoma was railing and she was missing so many of them that it didn't look good. So I prefer for her, if possible, to not have to like just try and get 30.
Okay, so then same questions as with the SEC. Which teams in the Big 12 have surprised us, good or bad? Like what team did you go into the season with low or high expectations for, and they completely met them, exceeded them, or fell off the planet?
I thought Texas was going to fall off the face of the earth when Rory got hurt.
Yeah.
So shout out to Sydney Carter. I'm so sorry. This drink number 2, y'all. It's only gonna go downhill from me. But yeah, Texas has pleasantly surprised me. So has Iowa State. Like, especially, I think that Bill has become a better coach, which is a very important thing that people don't talk about.
Yeah,
but to have those,
when you lose. That person that's your everything, you got to do better. Remember, we talked about that, didn't we, Dolores?
Sometimes you got to lose to win again.
Come on.
You better sing.
Needed someone. Oh, back. A Southern legend. High point of trying to stand up.
Iowa State I've been really happy to watch them. Like, I enjoy watching them play.
Same.
You can't say for all the teams in the country. I'll leave it
all
at that.
All the bootstrap girlies, you can't say that for. I have to say Kansas in a bad way. I looking at Tiana Jackson coming back for another year, looking at the veteran presence on that roster, I expected a top 4 finish in the Big 12. I didn't know how it was going to happen. But Samaya Nichols is a dog. We didn't even talk about her in the freshman conversation. That's another hooper. So I felt like they even remember in the preseason they were taking everybody to the wire. Like I think they LSU,
UConn, LSU, or was it UConn?
I think it was. But they played a few teams tough early in the season, and to me, I was like, that's going to be how they look this season. And fortunately, they have somewhat righted the ship in Big 12 play. But I don't know. I felt like this was the year they could take that next step and be a perennially ranked team. And when that didn't happen, and when I saw Tanner Jackson foul out just about every game, I was a little frustrated. So that's the team that I'm like, tomato, just a little.
Yeah, I agree with Shay with Texas. I don't want to say wrote them off because I don't really think the Big 12 is super strong. So I thought they'd still be fine, but I didn't think they'd be competing for the one spot like last week of the season. I didn't see that for them. So the fact that they were able to, you know, actually compete for that, I thought that was shocking in a good way. And Iowa State, man, like everyone said, just a bunch of freshmen, and they hoop and they be hooping and they hoop so well together. And like it's just fun to watch. It's fun to watch. They have a really nice inside outside game, and you can see them kind of like, it's really what I like about South Carolina and how you can see them grow as the season goes on. Like you're seeing them get better and you're seeing them mesh with one another and you're watching them just grow. And like if they all stay together, I hope they do, they're gonna be scary. Iowa State's gonna be like year 3. I give them year 3. They're gonna be scary.
Before Lo gets her question, that makes me really stare at Danae Fritz at Baylor. This was a player that went from getting major minutes and like really being somewhat of an X factor last season for Iowa State. She left, Denarski left, and of course Ashley Jones left. But for me, there wasn't really a clear reason as to why Fritz left, because she ended up going to Baylor and we don't see her play at all. At all for that team, and doesn't even really seem to fit the culture or the style of play at that program. So for me, it's to Lo's point earlier about when you lose certain people and you get to really like get in that underdog, grind it out growth mentality. Iowa State like really dove into that, and they are seeing the fruits of it. And to Yana's point, the sky is the limit. Like from looking at the team, they look to really enjoy each other. They look to be really well, like in sync and support of each other. So even if they can keep like 3 of those freshmen, specifically Addie, and there's another guard from the state of Iowa that's really good with some length on the team. Those 3, if they can keep them, curtains. And what's your question, Lo?
It was about Vic in Texas. Does this, because of this season, does it make you look at Vic as a better coach and say, okay, well, maybe he can? No, because okay. Because we always talk about how he's so like typecast, like he has this, and this. So does this make you look at him a little differently? Okay.
I look at him, but I don't look like different. Like I just look. I look, but I don't look different. Like I just look at him and I see the blazer coming off and I know what time it is. Dribble handoff. So. But he's done a good job this year. Losing your All-American. Losing your All-American and still being top 10 you can't beat that.
But I think it's easier to do it in a conference where no one can challenge the players that you like. Okay. Yeah. Like if there was another team in the conference that could press Madison Booker and make her be a true point guard, that to me would test him as a coach. Like if there was somebody that sat on that right hand or left hand and said, dribble to the other side and run some offense 94 feet, then I could really, because what we've seen is that Madison gonna get hers that first 2 shots. Yeah. Fatigue sets in. It's not really the other team that's doing it. It's her. Because she's running the team. And for them to, what's the little girl from BYU that's still there?
Gonzalez.
Shaylee Gonzalez, the little Holly girl.
Lawrence, stay on task.
We gonna get there.
We not there, Lawrence.
We gonna get there.
Pump the brakes, brother. Bump it.
We gonna get there. But I think that there's not really a team in the conference that makes them sweat the way some other teams
sweat. That's my biggest concern with them for March Madness, like matchup. It's gonna be matchups. Like if they run into, oh gosh, if they run into a Colorado or NC,
specifically Colorado
or Ole Miss, shit, they run into like one of those type of teams, it's gonna be interesting.
Because he has the perfect college roster. The tallest big on the floor, or typically the smallest point guard on the floor, the quickest and a good passer, one shooter and another rebounder. That's the way. That's the Vic Schaefer way. This season, he doesn't have that in spades. And so to me, it actually makes it more challenging for them to be winning. That's a good thing. But I think they're doing it because of where they are. If you put this Texas team in the SEC this year, they probably take the 4th spot that Alabama was in my opinion. Okay. We're going to move on because our major questions for the Big 12 are later. Same as the SEC. Let's keep staying on the southern side of the country. We're going to etch our way to the West Coast, and then we're going to take that coast all the way up to the top at Washington, okay? So we're going to go down from Arizona, slide on over to California, and then take it on up top to the Washington. So it's Pac-12 time, girlies. The last year of the Pac, so it's time to pack some bitches up. Shay, talk to us about the Pac.
Let's see. There was a game happening. Oregon got their brakes beat off of them.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on, but Kelly got to go. It's so long. Time. Farewell to you, my friend.
Goodbye for now.
Until we meet again.
I know they've been hanging on to that. Well, we coulda, woulda, shoulda back 4 years ago, but baby, like it ain't
literally 4 years ago.
Yeah, you got to move on. But the Pac-12 is like it's a dogfight. Like I think we're the only conference that got ranked teams playing on day one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is crazy to me. I'm trying to see, did Washington win or lose?
Are they still playing?
I mean, Washington. I'm trying to see. Sorry, because they was getting beat on too.
We got you. One moment.
Oh Lord, I can't see that fast.
Pac-12.
No, near Washington State. Wazoo lost. Yeah.
Ooh.
They got dubbed. So
that's a good win for Cal, but for Washington State, they
were on the bubble, and I think that
they out.
Hour and 15, Shay, till Washington.
Till Washington, yeah. So Washington, Arizona, like those are two teams. That's the game of the night to me because those are two teams on the bubble, and they need to win in order to get in the tournament.
Agreed.
But the Pac-12, it's gonna be a dogfight. Like I'm excited. I'm nervous as a Trojan fan. I'm nervous because both Washington beat us and Arizona took us to double OT a week ago, and we get one of them in the second round. And I'm nervous. But I would say, to answer the question about the team that surprised me in a good way, Oregon State, like hands down.
Yeah.
Like that what they've been able to do, and not beyond Reagan Bears, like I'm gonna call her TVO because Talia Van, I don't want to mess, but TVO been hooping. To me, a Gardner is really good. That's a mob. And now that Reagan is healthy and back, like them against, I think they got Colorado. That's gonna be crazy. But they've surprised me in a good way. My Trojans surprised me in a good way. And I was rooting for them.
That's how you
do it.
But
I was worried. There you go. We're gonna work on it. You got cramp in your fingers. But my Trojans, I was worried because we didn't, after we beat Ohio State, we kind of played a lot of we did our LSU.
Cupcakes.
And
feasted
when we got the conference, I was like, oh shit, we might get our teeth kicked in. But to come out as the 2 seed with a freshman leading the pack, I'm proud of us. Obviously, Oregon is the bad disappointment. I didn't think they was gonna hoop for real, but it's like y'all tanking. Like y'all think Caitlin gonna come to y'all in the draft or something. Like what's going on? Like what? I don't understand what is happening. So I'm interested to see. They just signed a 5-star or 4-star recruit, right?
Yeah,
they did.
So I'm interested to see how that.
She's not a high 5-star though. She one of them participation trophy 5-stars.
Now you can't be a participation trophy 5-star. That's not how it works.
If you number 40 in the class and you a 5-star, that's participation. Back in the day, they didn't give 5 stars to
But why? Okay, so why is she?
That's what the numbers say. I'm just reading the numbers.
That's how the high school rank. They'll have
they got
50 players be 5 stars.
It ain't the same.
I haven't seen the table on her. I'm assuming she's straight, but I don't know what's going on at Oregon. I
already told y'all he's thinking big picture. We've all seen how the Oregon transfers have looked after they left Oregon. So she, in her head, she's like, gotta go to Oregon first, transfer, and then boom, I'm gonna be amazing.
I'm so sorry, Yana. Lawrence, let me tell you something. You bring your ass close to this camera. Juju ain't going to goddamn there. She not leaving. I didn't see multiple people say Juju need to go here. She need to go there. That is the freshman from Watts, California. You know what she doing in her neighborhood? She ain't going nowhere.
They're in a good place though. Like personally, I feel like Southern Cal is in a better place than LSU is right now. And this is going off of
now, Yana, you don't.
No,
but walk me through it.
No,
what's the matter?
I'm listening. Like
Southern Cal has basically the number one recruiting class coming in this year.
They do.
They have a lot of great players coming in, and with the way that Juju played, it will be enticing for transfers to come. I feel like y'all are one solid big away from being really good. Now, when you look at LSU, they're hanging on by, does Angel come back? If Angel doesn't come back, they don't have anybody coming in for their class so far. There's only one more player on the board for them, which is Sarah Strong. So, if they get her, it's a different story. But right now, they're hanging on by, is Angel coming back? Is Haley Van Lith coming back? So now, if Angel don't come back and Haley Van Lith don't come back, what are they left with? Can they get good transfers? Absolutely. Yeah. But just based on what we know these teams have, Southern Cal is in a better position right now. It can change, but based on what we know.
So what you're telling me is the number 2 recruit in the class ain't got no hoes, but the number 1 recruit in the class do?
I mean, based on the players that have chosen to go to Southern Cal, yeah, I guess so. Because right now LSU is going to have Flau'jae and Michaela and ADR and Anissa, which is still good. But one thing we've talked about for them is their depth.
And Samaya.
And Samaya will be back. So that's a solid, that's a solid starting 5. That's a really good starting 5. Mm-hmm. But they still don't have depth. And when you look at Southern Cal, they'll have that. And more. So
they'll say drinking
low face in the bottle. She said don't need no mixer. Thank you, Kristen. Juju ain't going nowhere. She bring the people to her. You see all of the rappers and all of the terrible men coming to the game.
That terrible man. I was so ready for Samaya.
Staying on topic because I do have one more critical question for the pack. So give me 2 minutes. Let me pull up my handy dandy spreadsheet notebook, all that. Here we go. So looking at the pack this year, when we look at the bracket, what matchups intrigue us the most? Because like Shay said, this is when the only conference.
All of them, hell.
Everybody, just about everybody is ranked, or at least the majority of the people playing on the first day are ranked as well. So we see some good stuff, but we've seen the UCLA USC game.
Okay, see.
Must-see game.
Yeah.
Utah this season. Can you please?
I know I got bad eyes.
I'm gonna read some out to you. So Colorado beat Oregon today. They play Oregon State. Cal beat Washington State. They play Stanford. Arizona and Washington have yet to play. Utah and Arizona State have yet to play. So USC would get the winner of Washington, Arizona. UCLA would get the winner of Utah, Arizona State.
Everything from Thursday until Sunday is going to be a banger. But Colorado, Oregon State, that's going to be a good one. I really want to see USC and UCLA again. I think they played each other so early in the Pac-12 season where they were both still trying to figure things out. And I think both teams are just completely different now. So I would love to see them with where they are right now, because I do think that Betts has gotten better. Osborne's playing better. I think to start the season, she was starting off a little slow. Juju you're starting to see the help for Juju now.
Help, all of my help.
Listen. So I'd love to see that rematch. And the winner of, I guess, Stanford versus Oregon State in Colorado, whoever wins that one, I'd like to see how that goes.
I just feel like based off the way Colorado started today, they had a team meeting 2 days ago, and said
players only mean.
Players only. They said, I don't give a F. I'm trying not to cuss because we're trying to get some sponsorships. I don't give a F who we see. I don't give a F what quarter it is. I don't give a F who the refs are. For 40 minutes, we hooping.
Yeah.
We fighting. We on their ass. We ain't no plays off. Yep. And if that's the mentality that they about to come into this tournament with, oh baby, it's gonna get funny. Whoever on their side of the bracket, they might not win the game, but they gonna sweat.
Yeah.
Make me sweat. Make me.
I might do the dance with my short, so y'all might see a little people.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so moving on, because like I said, our major questions will be held for later. So we took it southwest.
Lawrence, what you yapping about now?
West. We gonna take it back to the east, but in the center. It's time for the Midwest girlies. What does that mean? The Big Ten. That's for the girls that took geography seriously in school. So we in the Big Ten.
I love cone.
Can you please?
Lawrence, baby, I need you to. That sentence just gave me a concussion, so I need you to log out and log back in and try it again. Because all I read was quarterback. Okay, go ahead.
So one of the big things before we even talk about good or bad showings is that we just saw that Mackenzie Holmes and Lily Meister could potentially be out for the Big Ten tournament. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's
really big.
Center and your backup point guard. Huge. Okay. We also know that Molly Davis at Iowa is out for the Big Ten tournament. Now, hope she should be back by the time the NCAA tournament comes in. Logo, drink some water.
Yeah.
I'm not even lit. I'm just.
She should be back by the time the NCAA tournament starts, but that's two of the top teams in the conference without very key pieces.
Yeah.
The only team in the conference at the top that is still 100% healthy is the Ohio State Buckeyes. So with that being said, when y'all make y'all picks, keep that in mind. Okay, what teams in the Big Ten have impressed us? Good, bad, ugly, in between, man.
I am very, very they've dealt with so many injuries, so that's partially the reason too. But Maryland, sorry, Shay. Maryland really, really unimpressed me this year.
You think injuries is the reason why?
Well, I'm gonna put it on injuries, but I don't think it's the sole reason. Illinois, I expect more from. I thought they could shake some shit up in there. I'm honestly impressed with Iowa. Like outside of Caitlin, the others have stepped up. I honestly wondered who was going to be the ones that stepped up and helped her this season. So I didn't really have super high hopes for Iowa because I knew Caitlin would get her rocks off. But after losing like Monica Cesano, I was just like, oh, who's gonna be that other person? And when the game's like when it matters, the others have stepped up for them. So I've been impressed with what they have been able to do too.
This is hilarious. Malik said the Big Ten is the conference of 3 and no D players. Somebody brought this up. Penn State made me sad with their injuries. I was on the Penn State train after they played USC because they were basically fully healthy.
Yeah.
And all they were missing was actually Owusu. And we really saw a glimpse of a team that defends but can also get to the rack. So I felt like once Owusu got back, they would be able to just kind of ride that wave to a top 4 finish in conference.
Mm-hmm.
What you did not prepare for was their best defender, reigning Big Ten Player of the Year, getting injured, and them being affected by injuries as heavily as they've been affected. But even with those injuries, do we think that Penn State can make a run in the Big Ten tournament, given what we know about some of the other top teams who are also struggling with injuries?
I think so. I feel like in the Big Ten, it's really just about can you put points up? Like that conference, we're probably gonna see a lot of high scoring games. I'm thinking a lot of the games are gonna be 80s, close to 90s. And Penn State can do that. They have the players that can put up like 90 points in a game. So just got to outscore them. And if you can outscore them, then because even when they lost to Iowa scored like 100 and something, but they scored 90 something, right? Mm-hmm. So like you got to be able to outscore these teams, and Penn State can do that.
A name to look out for, Chesky, 3-point shooter, sophomore at Penn State. If she gets hot, along with Marissa and Owusu, that's what Yana's talking about. Shay, talk to us a little bit about Michigan State. What you like about them?
They surprised me in a pleasant way. Like, I didn't see them coming in terms of a team that's going to be top dogs like that. But I really like what they got going on. They got robbed when they played Iowa. And I think if they can give that effort in this bracket, they could reach that final, that Big Ten final. Ooh. If they play like that again. I think so. The Big Ten to me as a whole has been underwhelming. Like, Caitlin been doing her thing, but the conference, based on where it's been and where it is now, it's a down year to me. So I think anybody could. Like, I think it's Ohio State to lose because of the injury that Iowa and Indiana got going on. But I think if Michigan State can hoop for real, it's up in the air.
Okay. All right, we're going to move away from the Big Ten and move back onto the East Coast and stay on the East Coast with our Atlantic Coast Conference. So the girlies were trying to dispute me down and say that this was the best conference in the country.
Who said that?
So when I made my post and said that UCLA and Stanford should both be 1 seeds, the girlies was in my comments saying, well, last year y'all said Virginia Tech wasn't going to be good, and they made it to a Final Four. The ACC is better than y'all think. Rah, rah. So let's talk about it.
It's also based on matchups. Like, come tournament time, it's matchups. Like, let's be honest. Like, come tournament time, it's about the teams that you're matched up against to play. If you are going against a team that has that style of play that you're good at, then fine. But if they came across a team that's similar to LSU before the Final Four, they're out because the athleticism would have killed them. Stanford is a nice Tay. Go away. I had to see who it was, but it's Tay. So
Kristen said people saying Pac is most top heavy, but ACC is deepest. This ain't something we was about to talk about, but let's get into it. Do we agree?
No, because the Pac-12 ain't but 12 teams, and more than half of them are good. So they're deep. They like the ACC just got like 14 or 15 teams in it. Like,
so for me, outside of Arizona State and Oregon, I can't name another bad team in the Pac-12.
Yeah,
but if I slide guys over to the ACC, Wake Forest, Boston College, Pitt, Clemson,
Miami,
that's 4 right there.
I think once you get looking at their standings, because I just looked at it earlier today, once you get to like UNC, everybody after UNC is like, and even then, like some of the teams above UNC, I have a question mark for. Like,
Florida, I'm crying at everybody. Go ahead, Yana.
They dragging so bad in the
I'm crying at people saying Clemson and unison.
Homegirl said ACC is only reason ACC seem deep is because everybody is mid together.
I mean,
it's one of those conferences where I feel like they have 6 4 seeds. Like, I know we don't have 6 slots for 4 seeds. Yeah. I could put everybody after Virginia Tech, if Liz Kitley is healthy, in the 4 seed and say, I can scratch my,
Before the season even started, I said that the ACC they won't be the best like conference, but they'll be the most exciting just because most of the teams are basically the same and around that tier of like, they haven't like no team is really broken off as the team in that conference. And all of them are, like you said, they're all around that like 4 seed range. So I knew it'd be like competitive and tight, but as far as like, can a champion come from the ACC? I don't think so. Not at this moment.
Okay. Has any teams in the ACC surprised us, good or bad, this year?
Syracuse, yes.
Coach Jack 'em.
Super proud of what they were
Jack
able to
what?
do here.
Like Jack of all. Go ahead, Yana. Go ahead.
Just super proud of what they were able to do this year. Them, Notre Dame, because I did not, and I mean a lot of that's credit to Hannah. Yeah, I didn't, without Miles back and the way some of their starters have been playing, I didn't really know what Notre Dame would be able to do this year. But for them to finish top 4, I think that was huge.
I'm gonna shout this team out solely because of how they're finishing the season. UVA.
Yeah,
we talked about this on
Coach
Space.
Ma.
They're a sleeper in the conference tournament.
Are a sleeper in the conference tournament. If they get hot from 3-point line, curtains, literal curtains. And Kamora Johnson is another freshman in the country that we don't talk about enough. And I think that her and Hannah are going to go head to head in the ACC in 3 years.
Can you imagine being Debbie Antonelli and saying, I think they should stay because of the star power?
Ooh.
Like, we haven't been talking, and that's no shade to the older girlies, but we've literally been talking about freshmen since day one, since the season opened in Paris.
Yep.
Freshmen stole the show. So I can't believe she said that in good faith, but she also said to Heina, pow pow. So there's that.
Not to Heina.
She definitely did. We got a question about Duke. How do we feel about Duke? Y'all know I'm not for the. I don't love the speeches, but I got to tip my hat to good sister Kara Angelou Lawson.
That's why. That's another reason when people are so like act like defense is such a non-fucking fact. Sorry, such a non-factor. I'm like, y'all are stupid and you don't know basketball because you can literally be in games just from your defense. Like, I don't understand. And that's why I feel like, will I say the SEC is as good as it always has been? No. But I just feel like as in general, even years, SEC gets shitted on because it's such a tough, gritty defensive conference. And people just do not respect defense enough. And I do not get it. It's a whole side of basketball. Yeah. Like, y'all would literally act like it does not exist.
It's the X. It's the X. Like,
I don't get it.
I think Duke's a sleeper because of their defense. Like, when you think about these conference tournaments, you're playing 3 days in a row, hopefully, maybe 4, depending on where you are. If you make it to the championship game, and by the time you get to that championship game, you're fatigued, you're tired, your shots probably aren't falling as much as you'd like just because your legs are tired, and that's when you have to rely on your defense to get stops. And teams that can defend, they do a good job in tournaments like this because they have that defense to rely on until they can get their shot going. But if you can't play no defense, then shit.
Yeah. I like.
You ain't got no defense, you ain't popping.
If you ain't got no defense, take your broke ass home.
Another freshman. Here we go again, bringing up freshmen. Okanawa at Duke just sees red. Like, she reminds me of Bianca Cuevas when she came into school, where as soon as she get in the game, it's like I might make 20 mistakes, but what I do well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to stop doing it.
Yeah.
You remind me of Shorty from a zoo.
Yes, Mama Dembele, the very same type of player, like on 10, on go, high energy, major defense, and always looking to attack the rim. So they definitely are a sleeper for me. So we did all our major P5 conferences. We're not really gonna get into the Big East because that's pretty much a foregone conclusion, and we're gonna keep it moving. So now that we've looked at each of these major conferences, oh Jesus, Mary and Joseph. We were just talking up UVA. Now they're struggling with Wake Forest. Jesus, Mary.
Oh, man.
Oh, my Lord.
That's real sad.
There's still time.
Yeah. So while we're talking about these conferences, what conferences outside of the Big 12 could have the most intriguing semifinal or championship matchup? So we know the Pac-12 is going to be good, regardless of who plays. But but SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12. What teams could potentially see each other in the championship game? You're like, I gotta be there. I gotta see them play. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
Okay. So for the ACC, just because I was looking at their bracket earlier, the possibility of Syracuse and NC State again. That game, the last time they played, went into overtime, and it was that was a good game. Just the possibility of them. Oh shit! Yeah, they got to play each other. So wait, what bracket is this?
It says ACC women's basketball.
That's cold.
That's last year.
Jesus, I read it, y'all. I read it.
Nah, that's last year, but. They are
Let's
like I
going.
think Syracuse would have to. Who would Syracuse have to beat? Either way, Syracuse is like the 4 seed Syracuse is the 4 seed and NC State's like 3 or something like that. But they would play each other in the semifinals, and I think that's going to be an amazing game. Like that game between those two teams the last time, like Sanaya Rivers was going off, Deaja Fair was going off. I would go watch that.
Trevor, why are you stressing us out? Virginia's up by 2, 4 minutes and 9 seconds left. They do have some foul trouble though. We'll keep locked in on that. Tay, don't play with me.
I'm about to say, Tay, don't you start.
What 2 teams could be interesting in the Big 12 championship or semifinal? Tay. Ooh, Lord, we got a hot take.
I got this one.
Okay, this is quick.
West Virginia and Kansas State. That was a good one the last time, outside of like what Shay would call the clown car ending. But that was a good game. That
was Baylor. That was them and
Baylor. Oh,
yeah,
well, when Kansas State and West Virginia played, it wasn't.
That was good too. Mm-hmm.
So that could be a good one.
I like the potential just matchup if they can get there. Iowa State and Baylor, and then if Iowa State wins that game, Oklahoma versus Iowa State. A matchup of playing styles where you got Oklahoma guard dominant, shoots the 3 ball, and then you got Iowa State with Audie Crooks. And Skylar Van will more than likely be the primary defender on Audie. Ooh, buddy. She about to put her in hell. Go Kansas. Why she tripping though? Kansas could make something shake. They just got win.
Yeah, they're going in the right direction too. So you never want to see a team that's like streaking and playing well come tournament time, and they're one of those teams. So
yeah, okay. I personally just need to see the South Carolina LSU rematch, and I want to see it because we've heard people say over and over and over and over and over, South Carolina only won because Angel fouled out. Now, if you know hoops, you know that probably isn't the reality of that situation, but there's been a lot of podcasts. There have been a lot of subtweets, and the fans go back and forth every single day.
Every day.
So,
Lord.
for the sake of shutting the hell up, I just need to see the game.
I think for me, what I don't like when people say things like, well, you only won because she fouled out. That's a part of basketball. Sometimes in a basketball, my scheme is to make your ass foul out. So it's just kind of like when people say that to me in any circumstance, it's just such a, not a cop out, but it's like, okay, that's sometimes what we scheme for. Like, when people draw, like, yes, we want to get her in foul trouble, so she goes to the bench. That's how you scheme and that's how you hoop. So when people say that, I'm just like, it just seems like you have such a small understanding of what basketball is. Like,
and I think when you just focus on that part of the game, you forget that. Well, it tells me you weren't really watching the whole game, because Ashlyn, who defended Anissa very well, was in foul trouble, which allowed Anissa to get her rocks off. It just so happened that Chloe was also getting her rocks off, so that helped. But once Ashlyn came in, Anissa couldn't do much anymore because Ashlyn was defending her so well. So if you can say Angel fouled out, but as a South Carolina fan, they can also say, well, Anissa don't get her rocks off if Ashland isn't in foul trouble, you know? So there's so many little things to the game that
how basketball works. Like,
yeah. But Tennessee possibly seeing South Carolina for the third time in like 2 weeks could be interesting. I would like to see Ole Miss and LSU possibly again. I know the first time that they played, Coach Yo thought her team didn't meet the moment. And so I'm interested to see if they were to meet up again, would they meet the moment? Like, you've already played them, you already got that out your system, and now you can kind of just lock in and see what you can do.
No more Tennessee versus South Carolina. So this is for the audience and also for y'all on stage as we're, kind of wrapping up before we kind of get picks for championships. What teams are on the bubble, whether it be for a top 4 seed or just to get into the tournament, do you think have to have a good conference run in order to what they need to do?
For the bubble of hosting, I'm going to go with Colorado, NC State, and Notre Dame in a good way. I think Notre Dame's been trending in the right direction. And so if they can go on a deep run, like if they can just make it to the championship game, then I think, because that would mean they'd probably be in a Virginia Tech along the way. I think that would solidify them as a top 16 team and they can host. So they're trending in the right direction.
Brandon says South Carolina State.
Come on, B.
I think Texas needs to win the Big 12 conference tournament in order to be at least a 2 seed. I think the tournament will give them credit for what they've done with and without Rory. But I think for me, I need them to win their conference tournament in order to say you are one of the 8 best teams in the country. Because if they don't win their tournament and a team like USC or like Colorado even makes a deep run, I could jump them easily. The strength of how good the Pac-12 has been. And we know that UConn's going to eat up a 2 seed as well, automatically off the strength of UConn. So that's going to make it slim pickings. So I think Texas has to win their conference tournament. And I think Kansas is a team that can put themselves in the NCAA tournament, like surely, with 2 wins in the Big 12.
Yeah. And I think also with Texas, you can't lose your Big 12 regular season and lose the conference tournament and still be a top 8 team. And that's the same for Iowa too. You can't lose the Big 10 and not win the Big 10 conference tournament and still be a top 8 team, at least to me. The conferences aren't strong enough for that. Like a team in the Pac-12, yes. Like if Southern Cal were to lose both, I'd still put them a top 8 because the conference is just that good. So even if they make it to the championship game and they didn't win, that's still good enough to me because along the way, you've beaten really good teams. I can't say that about the Big 10 and the Big 12. Your best teams that you're going to face is probably going to be the championship game, maybe. Like,
agreed. Lo, you got fan mail.
Oh, child Russian.
Not me.
So we got all of that out the way. Now it's time for the question of the day. Who are your conference tournament champions for the major 5 conferences? Who you got? We're going to start where we started for the SEC. Keep it going from there. Who do we have winning the SEC conference tournament?
South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina.
Shay?
I mean, yeah, I don't.
And let me say why. Let me say why. Because I don't want people to think it's pure bias because this take is not biased at all. Depth.
Oh, mine is.
It's just the depth. Like when you play 3 games in a row and they're physical, like just physical games. And when I look at the other side of the bracket, Ole Miss, a possible Auburn versus LSU is going to be a physical ass game. A possible Ole Miss versus LSU is going to be a physical ass game. Tennessee and South Carolina will also possibly be physical. Maybe not Bama and South Carolina, because Bama doesn't really get physical to me. But South Carolina has depth. And when you hit that third day and Malaysia only been averaging like 20 minutes a game, and Raven only been averaging like 20 minutes a game, and them babies like to run, I don't like who keeping up with them. I don't know.
I'm gonna go against the grain. And
Her name is Ashley Barker.
I'm gonna go against the grain. Alabama Sab is crazy. I'm gonna go against the grain and say LSU.
Ooh.
Because they got upset last year. And one thing Kim Mulkey knows how to do is put some shit in that locker room and play master manipulator and get them to play like.
Yeah, how we got the master manipulator?
Because if she can get him in the door, she can get him to act the fool on the court. And I think LSU is going to be out. Angel has not won an SEC tournament championship. Let me make sure I'm right. But she hasn't won a conference tournament championship. Or if she did, it was her first or second year. Not Dylan. Marlboro County, stand up, Malik. But anyways, for Angel's career to be so storied, she doesn't have any major conference award. She's won a national championship. She just won her first SEC championship. She needs that SEC title to put her in that little tier of like, I won my conference, I won the natty, I won the conference player of the year. So I do think they're going to come with something a little different. And I wonder, does that mean Kim Mulkey adds a little wrinkle for the tournament? If she can
do that anyway.
If she can do those two things, we might see LSU potentially win.
Okay. Well, I'll be the biased one tonight and just say South Carolina because that's what I said.
Okay.
I'm still concerned about their conditioning, though. I mean,
they got adrenaline, Yana.
The wrinkle gonna have to be good. Adrenaline gonna wear off at some point.
I really do think they could use that Janae girl. At least throw her in for some defense. Yeah. She's long. She's active. I think they could throw her in, give her, like just a little rest. I think they could use her a little more.
Yeah.
And then I also I will say. No, I was just gonna say to Doris's point. In the comments, South Carolina's hungry too. Like their players, when you listen to Breezy when she talked about winning the regular season, she was like, "Yeah, because I competed in this one. Ooh. I actually had something to give for this regular season, and so this is gonna be a lot of their first SEC tournament. So not we won last year because." They didn't win last year. Aaliyah and them won last year. So this is something that they're going to have to do to call, something of their own. And also LSU players be talking they be liking shady shit and talking shit. And they be like, until next time, or we should have won that one. And I find it hard to believe that South Carolina players ain't see that. So.
Okay. I mean, that's.
What y'all think about Ole Miss?
Sleeper.
Only reason why is because you can't do it if you haven't been.
Okay.
And Coach Yo does not know how to win an SEC tournament championship right now. Can she win in the conference tournament? Yes. But to win in the SEC conference tournament, they got to score.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Somebody said
we know that South Carolina and LSU can score.
Yeah.
Ole Miss needs a lot of stuff to fall to score. I think that's the separator. Is the defense going to pack? Yes. But you're going against the defending national champions and one of the best offensive teams in the country. You got to score against them because their defense is good, but they're not big and good.
Yeah.
Everybody on the roster, 6'1", 6'2".
They need a Stanford situation to happen. Not that also think, but bye.
Make sure y'all follow Loshi at the tournament.
But they need a very slow shooting night to keep the game close. And then hopefully with the game being close, you kind of, with nothing to lose, hoping the other team tied up and boom.
Because even when Kentucky won the title, they had a Ryan Howard on their team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like in order to win the SEC, you got to have a WNBA player on your team. And that's one drawback with Ole Miss is they've got a lot of college players on their team with WNBA potential, but they don't have a true, like Shakira Austin with this roster can win a title.
Yeah.
They don't have that. So that's my only drawback with them. Okay. So we talked about the Big 12 a lot, but who do y'all have winning the conference tournament?
Ooh. I'm going to go with Texas. I'm not going to vote against Vic in this situation. I think Vic does a good job of pulling whatever he needs from his team come conference tournament time. And so I'm gonna go with Vic.
Okay. Just to be different, I got Kansas State.
Okay. Ayoka Lee going out on top. I like that. I like it.
I think they're another team that they do have depth. They don't always use it. But when you lose a player like Ayoka Lee and you force other players to play bigger roles, I think this little rest helps them more than a lot of teams. Like helping state, practicing a little bit more, getting comfortable and finding some time. So I like Ayoka Lee. So I'm gonna go with them. I totally get the Texas pick. I think that's who I picked on our committee stuff. But I like Kansas State. Well, I'm gonna save Pac-12 for last because that's the best one. Big Ten. Who we got in the Big Ten?
Wake Forest beat UVA. God damn you, UVA. I mean, like
oh my
for the season, but god damn.
We did all this
We just gonna have to scratch out that one little segment dive.
Big Ten, I'm gonna roll with McGuff and the Gum and Ohio State.
I want this one for JC, so I'm gonna take Ohio State.
Yeah, with the injuries of the key players for the other two teams that probably would be vying for it, I'm gonna go with Ohio State.
Okay. All right, that's our first sweep. All right, let's move over to the ACC. Who we got?
Notre Dame. In Hidalgo we trust, baby. I'm going
she one of them ones that's gonna see that she lost, that she ain't win Player of the Year and be like, oh, I bet I got something for y'all. But I wouldn't mind if it was Notre Dame or Cuse. Like I'm really.
That's who I got playing in the championship game. I got Notre Dame versus Cuse, and Notre Dame gonna win.
If that's a championship, I'm happy.
No, who you got?
Oh, that's the fan fiction bracket. So what?
316 West.
NC State.
What it does. They need the tournament title more than anybody else in the conference. We have a national champion on the NC State roster.
Yeah,
we got some veteran bigs who've been in school since the Obama administration. And we got West. West can't win in the big tournament, but he know how to win his conference tournament. So I'm gonna go with West.
I would just like to say that this is all assumed. For me, I picked Notre Dame. Well, I still think Notre Dame beats Virginia Tech with Kitley, but I'm not convinced that Kitley will be back in time if she is coming back. So I've kind of in my mind I've already scratched out Virginia Tech.
And also, I will say, we got Hidalgo, we got the Asia Fair, but there's not another top team in the conference with two guards that can do what those two guards can do at NC State.
That's facts.
Very true.
A separator is the fact that Sanaya and Azani are both bigger guards. And that's the one drawback with Hannah and also DeAsia. They struggle with bigger guards on them that are physical. And in a tournament setting, physicality is allowed a little bit more. So what does it look like when Hannah's in her first conference tournament and somebody puts some arms, some hips, some elbow checks here and there? Yes, she's going to go off, but if the shot's not falling or if she's not getting to the free throw line off of attacks to the rim, does she do too much?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take. It is a little fan fiction, but I was.
Amor, is that Tom? Is Tom right? The narrative.
I think it is Tom.
Yeah, Amor. I'm not worried about Amor. Amor will probably drop like 30.
She can drop 50.
But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be enough.
Yeah. Okay. The show. The girl said the show was in Baton Rouge. The show is in Vegas this weekend, baby. Show is in Vegas.
And is.
Who do we have winning the Pac-12 championship?
I'm going with UCLA.
Yeah. They can have this one. They got charisma deserves. USC gonna let UCLA win the Pac-12 and go out on top. You know, we nice like that.
I gotta think about this one, but I need to see Stanford versus UCLA in the title game on TV. We got the past versus the future.
Mm-hmm.
And we got robbed that last matchup because Betts was out.
That could be one of the best games ever.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Brink and Kiki versus Juju and Rhea. Boy, it
was a good matchup the first time, so
I don't know. The Stanford gonna one day lick back. Cam might try to.
That's what I mean.
It's just something about. It's like I haven't even seen them play in a March Madness setting yet, but it's just something about players like Juju and Hannah and like Malaysia and Madison Booker and Michaela that it just like they gonna go off in March. Yeah. They give. March is for me. Like this is the shit this is the type of shit that I'm on. And so I just feel like Juju in that setting is a championship game. She gonna relish that shit. She went for 51. Shit, she might go for 60. Fuck. She gonna relish the moment for a championship game.
Same as Hannah, that at some point in their career, they gonna win a game, like not get to the game. They gonna win the biggest game off the strength of themselves. Mm-hmm. Like we saw Caitlin take Iowa to the big dance and lose when it mattered. Juju and Hannah, them type of players that if one or two people just pass the ball right, they gonna win the big one. Like they are bona fide superstars. Like everybody in the building is coming to see them. And if we thought Mississippi State taking down UConn in 2017 was one of the best games in college history, between now and the time that those two freshmen graduate, we about to see, I don't know.
They're going to have a moment.
They're
going to have a moment.
We going to finally get one shining moment in women's college hoops.
Oh
real one shining moment, like Kimber Walker type one shining.
Oh my Lord.
Like
if Jew hit that Kimber, that step back and get Brink on the ropes, y'all gonna have to put me in jail. I'm so sorry. Y'all gonna have to take my Twitter account.
It's like I feel like college hoops is culminating in this space. Like off topic because we kind of gave our picks, but you got a South Carolina team that nobody really believes in, even though they're undefeated. You got an LSU team that's the reigning champions with the best trash talker and the biggest white woman underdog on the planet. You got UConn with Paige. You got USC with Juju. You got Stanford with Cam Brink trying to prove something. You got Caitlin that might have to do it without her road dog. Like at every part in the country, we got players with a major storyline and something to say. I'm here to prove some shit.
And like this is what we've been asking for. Like, right? The parity is here. Like, yes, South Carolina is undefeated, but it's there. The parity is here. Like they were undefeated last year and they lost in the Final Four. Like they've came close to losing games this season and found a way to win. So they're not like, stomping people all the time like UConn was when they were beating people by 30 and it was just like a foregone conclusion that UConn's going to win it all. Like the parity is here in women's basketball and it is amazing. It's fun to watch.
I was having this conversation with a coach because the girls be trying to play me on Twitter like I don't know what I'm talking about. Coach hit me up and said there's a difference between a competitor and a dog. And this is a WNBA conversation because he was saying the only dog to ever come out of UConn is Maya Moore.
Ooh.
Oh,
The best hooper or the most winningest hooper though is Breanna Stewart. But we both agree that Breanna Stewart is just a competitor. So when we take that conversation and move it to the college, looking at the top teams that could be in contention for winning a title, what teams has the dog versus what teams have the competitor?
Whew.
And I'm going to give you 8 teams. South Carolina, LSU, Stanford, UCLA, UConn, Iowa, Ohio State.
All right, we just gonna have to go team by team because I go remember all
I'm
those
about to say. All right,
South Carolina.
South Carolina's first. I'm gonna let y'all handle that one. I'm gonna guess
Right.
at that church.
Carolina have a dog, Yana,
I think so.
or multiple dogs.
I think they have one, and they have a whole lot of competitors that are amazing. But I think the dog on the team is Ashlyn Watkins. Like, I think when push come to shove and like they just need somebody who just gonna get the rebound, get a defensive stop, get like, because it matters that much. Ashlyn, she's the one. Like, we saw it in just the Tennessee game on Sunday. When it was time to get a board because Tennessee was creeping up in that game, Ashlyn was like, I got this. Like, fuck it. Move the fuck out the way. I got it. I'm going to get a stop. I'm going to do what we need to do. So I would say Ashlyn. Yeah.
All right, we playing spades. I got 2 dogs and a possible.
Okay.
2 dogs are Lay and Ashlyn. And
Okay.
let's go back to the first game of the season. Lay sitting on the sideline, Hannah on the court eating. I mean,
yeah, I remember the moment. I know where you're going.
I said, okay, I got to go to my bench. It's time. Lay got in that game and said, I don't know what the fuck Hannah thought she was doing. I ain't going to drop 35, but you going to feel me.
Yeah.
And she got in her ass.
Yes. Yeah.
So, like, she was in that ass. Like, it was showtime. It was competition. It was shit talking. It was all of that. Ashlyn is a dog in the sense that she don't give a damn who it is.
Nope.
She don't give a damn if it's Paige. She don't give a damn if it's Caitlin, if it's Rakia. You might get me, but I'm at your ass until I'm found out.
Yeah.
My possible is Raven Johnson.
Yeah.
The reason I say Raven Johnson is a possible is because Raven's not a dog in the sense that she's going to take the shot to win the game. She going to do every single thing else to get the team in the position to win the game. Let's go back to the LSU game.
Yeah.
South Carolina needed a big 3-point shot before halftime to take some of LSU's momentum away. She got Pow on her left, Malaysia on her right, Ravens dribbling the ball down the court. Raven says Pow's got the better percentage, Lay's the hooper. Who did she get the ball to? Lay. Turns around and walks her ass to the locker room. Knew her teammate was going to make the shot. Later in the game, Breezy makes the big 3-point shot, gets South Carolina up. Raven takes the ball to the rack, makes the lay off the rim. Game is over. Raven is the player that's going to do everything needed to put the team in the position. Let's go back even further. Iowa championship semifinal game, Final Four game last year. Everybody knows Raven for not taking a 3-point shot. But if you actually go back and look at that game, Raven was the most composed, the best guard, the most offensively and defensively in that game.
Yeah.
To me, that says everything I need to know about those players. And what you're going to
feel like you can slide it from the possible. You know,
I love how I made my case there. I ate that shit up. And what you're going to see with South Carolina this tournament time is Don knows that when push comes to shove, I got to have one of my dogs in the game because one of my dogs going to bark loud enough for my competitor to step the fuck up. And that's what we're going to see in a tournament. Shay, you got somebody or we going to move on?
I'm gonna let y'all ride with the South Carolina people. I'm gonna let y'all ride. I agree though. I think Raven, man, when
She the
Raven gets
glue.
to doing what she do, it's
You
hard.
got it right.
She the glue.
And there was a question: is Watkins a dog on offense? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think there's still parts of her offensive game that will get better as time goes on, but she's shown that she's not afraid to do what needs to be done on offense either. Like, she's been like, her averages have gone up because of the way she's played at the end of the season. So yeah.
Okay. Moving on, we just gonna go with the rankings. Our number 2 team in the committee rankings, let me make sure I'm right, is Stanford. Dogs. Where they at? Where they at though? Where they
I
at?
go with Cameron Brink. Like,
yeah, I'm about to say,
like
Brink ain't
Cameron,
no hoe.
she been a dog since she been a freshman. I remember when Stanford beat South Carolina in the Final Four.
That push in the
Cameron
back.
was loud talking shit. I remember when she turned around and yelled at LA face like, "Girl!" Like, I was like, I got mad as a fan because I was like, "LA, you let her hold you, bro." Like, say go back. But Cam is a dog. Cam is a dog.
Yeah.
Like,
Now Jalen said she's the best, like she's the biggest trash talker in the Pac-12, and like I believe that wholeheartedly. I hear people saying Kiki is a competitor to me.
She's a competitor.
yeah.
Like I think she got that step in her if she wants to go there, but Cam is the dog on that team.
But I gotta push back. I don't think Cam is a dog.
Okay.
I think she's a shit talking competitor.
Okay.
Dog
I could lean with that.
to me says put the team on your back and walk me to the win. Because what Cam does is Cam shows up. She arrives to the game with the shit talking.
Yeah.
But when the lights get heavy, when the game gets close, who made the shot that they needed to make in order to win the game against South Carolina? Haley Jones. The next year,
Damn, that hurt.
against UConn in the Final Four, who was nowhere to be found when the game got close? Cam Brink. Next year, they played Ole Miss at home.
She was sick though.
Flu game.
I just he said, you need to be Michael Jordan, damn it.
If Steph Curry, the God Daddy, this year, you let Peely hip check your ass to oblivion.
You walked in your crib and put 50 in your house.
Damn.
So to me, dog means if there's another dog in the room, we barking at each other.
Okay, so can she be puppy?
Should she
then?
be
Can
like
we
a
make
Great
new-
Dane?
Can we make her a new category? She can be puppy.
She's Stewie.
I can live with. Okay.
She's
So
Stewie.
they like Great Danes.
Yes.
Maybe a Rottweiler.
Or so.
Okay.
Okay.
King.
Going down one, Ohio State. And when we say dog, I don't mean you can bark. I mean dog.
I rock with JC. I'm sorry. Oh man. I think Cody got
all competitors, really great competitors. Like really,
that's
really
the
good.
last time. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Not in this Christian home time. I'm so sorry. Cody got bark in her, but she gotta get the,
I think Cody could get there by the time
for sure.
Cody's still at the local animal shelter. Just waiting.
Yeah, somebody got to pick her up and groom her, get her together.
She waiting to be adopted by a black family.
Yeah,
she
got
get
it in
there,
her.
Yeah, I don't think. Oh, that's my team. Y'all know I love my girls. I don't think there's any dogs on the team. I think there's some really good competitors that can show up and get them some wins. But dog,
not Paw Patrol.
Yeah,
Paw Patrol. That's what we're gonna say. If they not dog, but they got it in them, it's the Paw Patrol.
So, make sure y'all keep track of this on the side. So we gave 2 in a possible for South Carolina, a possible at Stanford, none at
Ohio State.
All right, moving down, UCLA.
Oh no, charisma. Charisma for sure. I'm gonna give her dog. Y'all silent. Oh Lord, have mercy.
So
Oh, my
I'm
Lord.
thinking.
Don't
I'm
do
trying to
don't
run
do
down the
my-
list. I'm gonna go with crazy enough. I'm gonna go with somebody off. Is she on the bench? I don't know. London. I think London has potential.
All right, I can rock with
Like she's like, to me, sometimes when they really need it, she be the one that steps up. Like she don't get the attention and all the fanfare and stuff like that. But I think she the one.
What's my favorite gift?
that. The little dog.
The answer is no for me.
Damn, you see how they do you, Riz? They see how a big you've been in college 5 years and they ain't giving you dogs, man.
It's competitors all the way around. It's competitors.
Okay.
Great competitors. Great competitors.
Okay, beautiful gowns. Okay.
It's giving Miss USA pageant. Like everybody's in the competition. It's real nice. No.
Okay.
I think
All right,
charisma. If Cam Brink is a cane corso, charisma is a newborn chihuahua.
Not a newborn.
all right, so they all in the Paw Patrol. Okay.
Yeah, like she just on the.
You got a lot of Paw Patrol people.
All
Yeah,
right.
and this is my evidence. Team USA went to international
Okay.
and played the Brazil girls and all those other people. It wasn't beautiful.
The gowns weren't.
It wasn't, and y'all know that's my girl. I ride down for charisma real bad.
Yeah.
But when you get like, Dog says, even if I'm not the best player in the room, or even if I'm not expected, you gonna feel me. And
Yeah.
was the type of player where she does everything right. She's a great defender, but maybe the shot's not falling. She scores,
Okay.
but maybe she's not locking you up on defense. Like she's not a player that everybody clear out and say Juju and charisma go head to head.
Okay.
That's not that type of player to me, right?
Not
Y'all-
a defensive dog. We
Like,
said
Y'all see
come on.
Tom
We're
challenging
not
us?
adding for it. We're not adding.
X's and O's. X's and O's.
Tom, I got one answer for you. In defensive dogs, you can't let Ju come in there and toast y'all like that first game of the season.
Yeah,
You
can't.
defensive player of the year in 2 different conferences, and Ju walked all over y'all.
What was that? What was the Iowa game when she had the opportunity to win the game and didn't turn around and look at the basket? Paw Patrol. Thank you.
Paw Patrol.
Paw
Okay.
Patrol. Paw Patrol.
Okay, let's go USC. Southern Cal.
It's Ju. It's Ju for sure.
Okay.
Did
there-
she defend you?
But
Ju? If
I'll
you a
also-
dog, Tom, come to the camera. If you a dog and you a defensive player of the year, even if Juju not your assignment, after
You
she
go get her.
cooking you, switch. Hey, I
You
got
gotta
you.
take over. You gotta be like,
Got
move
12.
out the way. I got this shit.
12.
But the other, who's Forbes?
Yeah,
I
she
think
been hooping.
Forbes is like kind of on that tear. I'd put her where like Cameron Brink is. Like she shows the fuck up in defense, offense. Like she shows up.
I think Kenzie is one of the ones that if she plays well throughout the tournament, she's somebody that can boost her draft stock. For sure.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
When I was taking notes for the spaces, I put because of her proximity to Juju, she'll have the opportunity to show what she can do in the tournament.
Not too much.
Because like people are gonna watch, right? People are gonna watch, and she's good. Like she really is good, and so she can really see her draft stock rise.
Tom said Forbes is the top dog at Paw Patrol. Y'all are crazy.
No, because Cameron Brink is the top dog at Paw Patrol.
Yeah, Brink is the top.
Brink the top dog.
Brink is the main corso in the room.
Yeah. Brink
Y'all
is Sky. Well,
y'all
Sky's my favorite Paw Patrol dog. So Brink is Sky.
What's Caesar Milan up in this bitch? That's Cam Brink. This dog is for don't play.
Tay, not now, Tay, please. Sister, we know, Tay. We know.
Okay. LSU. Now, I'm gonna give a caveat. The illusion of being a dog is not the same as being a dog. So with that being said, how many dogs or competitors does LSU have?
I'm riding with the Baltimore bully, Angel Reese. Because what no matter what you say about her post move, shorty a dog on them boards. Like she get the work done. Like she reminds me so much of Draymond, not the assaulting people, but the I'm gonna get what I need to do for my team. Okay, look, I'm riding with Angel. Angel a dog. She gonna be straight as long as she know her role in the W. She gonna be straight. She gonna be straight. Big Foe. Oh, people saying, "Oh, I see Big Foe." Oh,
I would say that
y'all gonna have to make a case for all of these in the
Angel for sure. Like Angel.
I'm a drag in 2 seconds. I'm just let y'all finish.
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody
so me and y'all said Angel. Lord, y'all naming the whole roster. If they was all dogs,
y'all might as well add ADR in there.
Shit, if they was all dogs, they be SEC champions.
And the thing is that y'all really didn't say the person that really should be considered. Michaela Williams is a dog. She just out of shape right now. She them what's them little pit bulls that get overweight and their knees get a little bow-legged.
Oh my Lord.
We just gotta get her on the treadmill and some water. You know, they gotta put the dogs in the water treadmill, slim it down. Then you're gonna have your second dog.
I think she got neutered.
Come on, we got real dog owners in the chat. We got neutered. Now Michaela, she hit that freshman wall, but like when she want to hoop for real, she gonna be one of the ones.
Yeah, I think Big Foe is a really good, beautiful gowns competitor. Like I can't say dog simply because when you look at their runs, even last year and this year, it's not for strength to her. Like she's gonna give you great defense. Very Celeste Taylor coded with better offense to me. Like she's their best defender from the guard spot. She's always going to take those matchups personal, but she's not the player that I'm going to put the ball in her hand, win, lose, or draw, and go and get the win, lose, or draw. That will never be her position. Because if it was, there was no need to get Michaela, in my opinion. Okay. Then HVL, that's anti-black. If you we saw that child go to, I was there, to Minnesota and get dog walked by a girl that's dating an NFL player and either hooping no more.
Yeah. I think Angel's the only dog.
Angel a dog.
And I can't even, and I'm gonna give you Moro. Moro's not necessarily a dog. She's just dog adjacent. Like she's the dog that walks with the other dogs in the community, that barks with the white people in the room. But when the other black dogs from the hood come, she gonna stand on the side, just a little bit.
It's like a doodle.
Yeah, like a golden doodle with a like. Okay,
I like golden doodles
with a rat.
She be at the dog park on the weekends, y'all.
Yeah, like she know who to misbehave with and who to behave with. That's her energy. Because Angel, that dog, the chow. Angel's a chow. The ones that gonna bite you. They don't got loyalty to nobody. They just bite. Anissa gonna put on a nice wig, and be cute until she get upset. That's different. Okay, so that's LSU. This the real gag, Iowa.
Ooh.
I think Caitlin's dog.
Yeah, Caitlin going. One thing about Caitlin, when it's time, money on the line, she gonna get that ball in her hand.
She wants every shot. She wants
the moment.
And even like as tough as I am on her like defense and stuff like that, when the moment is there, Caitlin will get the rebound. Like she gonna go grab the board. She gonna go make sure she helps on defense and stuff like that. Like Caitlin, when it's the moment, she gonna make sure she a part of it.
People in the chat saying 0 and no. Oh my, okay.
Damn, y'all some haters, cause Caitlin is Caitlin's dog.
Caitlin is not a dog.
Y'all tripping. What the fuck I witnessed in Dallas?
The reason she is not a dog is because dogs do it on both ends of the floor. Competitors that are really good at shooting shoot the ball. It's same as Brandon Stewart. Let me give an example. Caitlin Clark's not the player if they going against Juju, that's going to take the Juju matchup. Juju is the player, if going against Iowa, going to take the Caitlin matchup. Now, Caitlin might get her rocks off against Juju, but the dog says, you going to work for that shit. Caitlin's the player that says, everybody else on my team, they ain't got to score. They just got to make sure I don't got to sweat while the other team tries to score. That's not a dog to me. Going to get but that's easy for her. Offense is easy for her, right?
But you don't think that somebody who welcomes the moment and wants to have that moment, that's not dog. So can we say offensive dog then?
Yeah, then we got to go back to Celeste and make her defensive dog, and that's why
Caitlin a dog. She's a dog to me.
But like somebody who wants the moment and embraces it, like you can't
takes the L's and
so then she the lion at the circus.
Lord, what the what?
Not for me, because like even when it comes to the defensive side of the game, does she need to get better at it? Absolutely. But when it comes down the stretch, I've seen games where like is Caitlin's defense questionable? Absolutely. But I've seen games where she's like stepped up and been like, nah, I'm gonna go defend. Like, let me defend this person real quick, or let me make sure I get this board because we need the board to win this game and close it out. Let me make sure that I'm present and on the defensive side to make sure she win. Like, does it need to be consistent throughout an entire game? Sure. But when it matters most, Caitlin picks her defense up.
But see, to me, like, okay, this also, if y'all listen to this is a good one, by the way. I really like this one with y'all. If you listen to this is us purely talking hoops. Like, please don't be weird. Like, we really hoops and having conversation.
Chloe, please go away. I love her.
Chloe Bailey.
My thing with Caitlin is that I think off the offensive side of the ball, like she is trained to do what she does. Like you remember in the offseason, they did that little video of her practicing at home and the shots that she took regularly. Like what she does, she's so confident in it because she's trained to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, that's like a rehearsed type of thing. Like she not pulling out no like off the wall. Like it's not dog. Like it to me, it's organized. It's like this very organized, can't nobody fuck with it because it's the college type of crime, you know? And so is it a dog in the sense that at the collegiate level, can nobody really fuck with her on the offensive end? Yes. But to me, if we had to go head to head, right? Refs wasn't really blowing the whistle and keeping you safe, and somebody was putting a body on her, that's when I could really say if she was a dog or not. But I don't think the climate of the game right now really allows for that to happen. Let's look at the Indiana matchup in Indiana. What you said all the time, Yana, once, you know, when the refs don't really favor the whistle and both teams can kind of throw some bows on them, she's not the same Caitlin. Is she still going to drop 25 to 30? Yes. But when it's a little extra pressure, she turns into Kim Mulkey 30 years young. Like, I can see why y'all say that, because she's not afraid of the moment. You can't be afraid of the moment when you've been practicing the moment. But what about the moment on the other end of the floor?
But I mean, there's a lot of people that be practicing the moment and they still can't do the shit.
But see, that's just good rehearsals. That's like you know, I'm gonna use a dance analogy, right? If my kids is trying to get, 10 pirouettes, that means turns, right, on one leg. Okay. Everybody can practice 10 pirouettes, but if you not like you don't got the camera making sure you rotating at the right speed, you don't got the mirror on your left, on your right, on your back, and your front, you ain't got the slow motion revolution reverse, make sure the spin right, make sure you on the highest big toe. Like, that's rehearsal. You're just looking at data, watching the numbers and applying some techniques. And that's what it gives to me. It gives technique.
We just gotta agree to disagree. If I go into the pet store, I'm buying the Caitlin dog. I'm buying
the Iowa dog.
Give me the little CC dog.
Buy that dog, and I'm gonna go down the street and get the one from Watts, and watch your dog be bleeding at the end of this bad bitch.
I would obviously take the Juju dog over Caitlin. We didn't say which dog was a better dog.
Okay.
That
was a good one. That was a good one. Okay. Dog. Just because I'm me and I like to make the girls mad. UConn.
UConn.
First of all, I'm gonna have to say that I think Maya absolutely was a dog. I would put Tiff Hayes in that dog conversation in terms of all time.
I can Swin Cash in it too.
Swin, yeah. I think you could also mention Tina Charles in there because Tina was like that.
And because of like that unit, like obviously she's not a star in the W, but Mo Jeff, man, like to me, Mo Jeff was like the piece. Like, yeah, Stewie was amazing, but I personally have always thought that Mo Jeff should have won that most outstanding player.
You need to be regulated, Yana.
Okay, Tom, we agree on Tiff Hayes.
You full of
shit. We agree.
I don't agree.
Did you watch her? The college version of her. She was like
a well-rehearsed puppy.
It just filtered off in W, but in college she was that girl.
So I need
UConn.
I need your answer for UConn right now.
Oh, child, that was great. I'm so glad that y'all showed up. I
have a baby one, a little baby possible. Shade.
Oh, brother.
Shade? Okay.
But she literally be as a freshman, she be showing the fuck up. Like I didn't expect her to hoop like she did and defend like she did when they played South Carolina. Like she was probably the only other one outside of, and to be honest, sometimes I thought she played better than Aaliyah Edwards. Like she got it. Like it's obviously she got to grow into it. That's why I said a puppy. She's like a little baby. But
I think this is time. Tom said UConn has two, and I'm gonna need you to like pull out the spreadsheet, get your good.
Y'all don't be watching UConn. If y'all were watching UConn, y'all will understand why I said Shade.
Oh, I like Ashley Shade. I think KK got it in her. She in Paw Patrol right now.
Yeah, see, Shade ain't even in Paw Patrol. She's like a baby, you know. Like we gotta just let it grow.
Wonderful.
I think Paige is.
Somebody said the Husky.
I think the injuries kind of. I think the injuries kind of hindered Paige's dogness. If that makes sense. Like I think that it kind of is like.
They said mule spirit. No, but on the real too.
Okay.
I think Paige is the best college competitor. Like. In almost the history of college competitors. Because if we put Stewie in a separate tier, like Paige has everything you need to be a dog without this. And let me say, I understand that injuries do play a part in that. Like injuries could have totally taken off some of that killer instinct. But let's not forget, even in her early years at UConn, Gina was begging her to score, begging her to go out and do basically what Caitlin's doing. And to me, if someone has to ask you to do it, you aren't there. Because dogs are willing to make mistakes if it means that one mistake in 2 games gonna win them the game.
Yeah.
True.
Competitors are the ones that know what is the right thing to do. And they're going to do everything they can do to do it. And we see players like that all the time. Like Stewie is a crazy competitor, in my opinion, because she can almost do the dog thing without wanting to do the dog thing. But she's always going to do the competitor thing. Like, it's like her body's like in between dog and competitor. Because like, she going to get the block shot but it wasn't like I'm like, ooh, I'm about to knock your shit. It's just like, oh, my arm's here, you know, like. And then I look at like an Asian, it's like, I don't give a fuck if your arm there or not, bitch, move, shot, you know, like that. To me, that's the little separator. And if I put Paige beside Caitlin, and I say, you know, I was critical, and I said maybe Caitlin's not a complete dog, then I got to knock Paige down even further because Caitlin is going to be willing to do the thing that could result in a loss. I don't think Paige is willing to do that up until the final shot. Like if Paige has the opportunity to win the shot, to win the game, she gonna shoot it. But what about if you're down by 7? Paige not gonna take them shots. She gonna kick it. She gonna make the basketball play, right? But the dog says, "I don't give a fuck. Like I'm going to the hoop." And then if I got 3 men on me, I'm gonna kick it away. Kick it off.
Somebody said Bailey's the dog.
Who?
Chris CD, the coach.
Chris CD.
Listen,
somebody asked about Rakia.
Could be.
She's in the park.
She's in Paw Patrol.
Yeah, she's like right under Cam. To me, though,
I said Paige a dog in a cone. What is wrong with y'all? The little jump where they can't. Y'all are crazy. Oh my Lord.
Oh, y'all are funny.
I think Rakia is dog adjacent. But I think not. This is no shade to Rakia. Y'all know how much I love Rakia. But dog Rakia wills Tennessee to more wins than they've gotten in the last 2 years anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog Rakia does more what Juju's doing at USC. Dog Rakia does more like Hannah at Notre Dame. And we, you know, like it's just.
I feel you. I think that I think Rakia got dog in her for sure. I think when she go to the W and she play with some pros with some talent, it's gonna be bark all day, every day. She's gonna be straight. I just think right now I'm not a fan of Kelly, so I
think some of it's her journey in college too. Like Rakia, her freshman year, that was like dog. Like I'm blowing kisses at y'all. I'm finna cook, like you know, and then college life. You know,
but y'all see Tom, Rakia, comparing Rakia to Ryan.
I can see. I'm not mad at it. I can see it. I think then we got to get extra critical because if we looking at what's the Darn Championship that Ari was judging this year, best in show and all of that. What?
College Ryan was a dog, and Ryan still is a dog.
What separates best in show is then if you're a dog, can the skills shine through, right? Yeah. And I think to me that's what makes Juju so good is that it's not just dog here, it's dog skills.
Yeah,
what makes Maya shine through is it's not just dog here, it's dog with skills, and I think a lot of people have dog here. But they gonna take a shot and the shit not going in.
Maya, the biggest dog. I seen that stat of her only like not even having 100 losses. Yeah. Like you ain't even had 100 losses in your life, bruh. Why did she leave us?
With the leash with the choke collar. Oh my, please.
Y'all they're so good at descriptives. With the shot collar. Okay. So we wrapping it up. I'm gonna open it up. Just any audience questions before we send y'all to bed.
Quick announcement though, y'all. We do have you can join our membership group, the committee click.
The committee what?
Click.
Ain't nobody.
We got a whole Discord set up for y'all. It's a group chat with us in it. Y'all know we be in there talking crazy. There's a music lounge. It's a whole bunch of stuff in there. So the link is in the chat if y'all want to join with us and hang out with us. But we appreciate y'all.
Come yell at us. Tell us what you thought we said wrong. If you think we're wrong about stuff, I'll probably mute you if you tell me I was wrong.
I said David Kelly's a dog sweater.
A dog sweater. I'm gonna answer this one from country.
Okay, who we got for?
It's all about matchups.
I don't know. I need to see the bracket first, but if I'm just shooting off the top of the dome, South Carolina, UCLA, LSU, and Ohio State.
I do think there are going to be upsets, and that's why I need to see the bracket to see what the upsets would be. But I do think South Carolina and UCLA will be there. That's tough.
Shit, South Carolina gonna be there. I think UCLA got the depth and the variety to make it work. Like they can win different types of games. But yeah, I could. But as long as Betts is doing what Betts supposed to do, I think they straight. I think LSU, because of how they play and how Kim works the refs, unless they play a team that's physical.
I think Ohio State can definitely be there this year. I like with their defense and how their offense has been playing. Ohio State, I don't think too many teams could deal with the press constantly. So they should be there. If they got to the Elite Eight last year. So Final Four will just be that next stepping stone.
Okay, I'm trying to read all this. Sorry, y'all typing fast. Lord.
Who do we think will have matchups, like who will have an upset like Ole Miss last year in the tournament?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Let me see. Okay.
I think let me look at the floor. I think a Syracuse could do something like that. I don't think Syracuse is in hosting position right now.
They're close.
But if Syracuse isn't hosting, I can see them going on the road and possibly winning in somebody's house.
That's a really hard question. It's my eyes always go to the SEC for those types of matchups solely because of the defensive question. I think in order to win one of those upset matchups, you gotta either get really hot on the offensive end or defend your ass off.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think of some non-SEC teams that do that. Maybe USC. I mean UNC. Maybe a Deja Kelly, dog sweater team can do something like that.
So, dog sweater team.
That dog sweater. I'm gonna laugh at that for a little minute now.
While y'all is thinking, y'all, I just put the link to the click in the chat, y'all. Click it.
Join.
So this is just going based off of ESPN's bracketology right now. I could see Michigan State walking into Texas and winning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can see Auburn walking into Oregon State and winning, or North Carolina walking into Oregon State and winning. So yeah.
Okay. Tom wants to know who's the biggest threat or worst matchup for South Carolina this season. UCLA.
Yeah, I don't think Ohio, like no shade to Ohio State, but I don't think Ohio State poses that much of a threat to them.
No.
If they do what they're supposed to do, like UCLA, South Carolina usually struggles with teams that are like literally like looking in a mirror, like, oh shit, you're me. They struggle with that.
Hey, we got our first click member.
Come on, first click member.
Kira Shanice, message us on Twitter. We might have a gift for you. That period. First click member.
And then is that B?
Is that
B? Is that a
first member?
And I will say I don't think that they're a bad matchup, but I think the storyline itself could be a lot, and that's Iowa. I think I think South Carolina matches up way better against them, absolutely. But when you put the storyline of this is the team that took them out of the tournament last year, and then you have the refs involved, do the refs allow South Carolina to defend the way they typically defend? Stuff like that. Does Raven maybe possibly get in her head about the whole thing from last summer? Like, it's just a lot that would go into that matchup in particular. And so it's just, can they overcome that versus do they match up well against them or not?
Okay. Yeah. We got another
Victoria Lomax was good.
Period. It's up. It's
Craig.
up.
You see Craig dancing up at the top?
Period. Period. Is that another? Period.
Senior, Lord, I'm gonna run out of gifts. Okay, we're gonna give you Rob.
Okay, Tom. Tom said, I think Ohio State could shut South Carolina down.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna write that down. Tom at 909.
To what Yana said about we need Dolores doing the dog gift as a gift. One moment. Let me practice. That's my girl. Okay, you ready?
Tom, I wrote it down. You can't see it, but it's on this little paper right here.
Yeah.
It says, Tom, March 6, 2024, 9:09 p.m. said that Ohio State can shut South Carolina down.
I think more than anything, though, I think mental can get South Carolina more than the game. Mm-hmm. And to Yana's point about Iowa, like, this is a team that hasn't played with pressure all year. We going up for the click.
Oh, shout out to Ryan, Jasmine, Ariel Powell.
Welcome to
the click, y'all. Welcome to the click.
We going up. But back to my point. Let me stay on topic. Dolores the dog. Period. Don't play with me. Welcome to the dog pound, bitches. But I think mental. Like, does South Carolina go into a game this year where maybe they get down at halftime and get frantic? Or does South Carolina go into a game in a tournament where maybe they're up in the fourth quarter, shots don't fall, and then they let a team get back in? I think it's not necessarily the team that they're facing. I think it's where the team can put enough mental pressure on this South Carolina team. As so far this season, they've
I don't backtrack now, Tom. I wrote it. People saw it. I wrote it. I got it now. No backtrack.
We gonna write it up, and you know I don't forget shit.
Shout out to Glassic, Lillian Bumpass, Taylor Ruffin, Judy. Welcome to the click, y'all. We appreciate it.
Period. Also, you can't full court press if you're not scoring, and that's the T when you play South Carolina. You what Nicki Minaj said, I don't like that woman, but you can't be Pablo if your what ain't selling. What the is this bitch inhaling? Don't play with me.
Okay.
Loop.
Tom, I'm not writing no more stuff tonight, so you stuck with what I wrote at 9:09.
We got some people touching and joining the click. I'm just saying.
Come on, Tiana Houston, Rob. Welcome to the gang, y'all.
Gang in it.
Appreciate y'all. In it. Somebody asked, are we so a lot of our members are going to the SEC tournament. So I'm not sure how much YouTube will be able to do. But we would
back for y'all.
But we will definitely
back Friday.
We'll have playback for the Pac-12 games.
And I guess tomorrow too.
Yeah, we can do playback Thursday, Friday, and then we will definitely have spaces Tuesday as usual. But we'll work something out. We'll let y'all know. Stay. Follow the Twitter. We'll let y'all know.
We're gonna do something special for y'all. Y'all just made my come on, click. Keep joining. Tell your homegirl to tell her homegirl to tell her homegirl.
Yes, and if you in Greenville, come say hi.
Yes, please say hi to the committee.
Love gonna have her content creator mic, so don't run from me, friend. I might or might not make an appearance.
Any other y'all got anything else y'all want to say in the chat?
Any other questions?
Any other questions, y'all? This has been a really fun time. Not gonna lie, y'all. Like, I had a shitty day at work, y'all, and this really was a pick me up. I appreciate y'all.
Aww.
See, ain't God good?
Hey, he gonna do it.
Am I going to Cleveland? Honestly, let me tell y'all, I have PTSD from last year. I will pull up to Cleveland if South Carolina makes a championship game. I will be there. I will buy a flight and a ticket same day. And Y'all, I was so
Naya,
hurt.
welcome.
I was so hurt when they lost that game at the Final Four. Like, I couldn't even enjoy Dallas. I was just like, this isn't fun, y'all. This isn't fun. So I can't do it again.
For our click members, we gotta tap in, because if y'all got suggestions for us, things y'all want to see us do in the future, ideas, content, all of that, let us know, because y'all gonna be in the know. Okay.
Yeah.
We might do a little cackle with y'all. We ain't gonna put we ain't gonna do too much, but
shout out to Naya, and is it Ariel or Ariel? Don't make me mess that up. But welcome to the click, y'all. I still can't rewatch that game on YouTube.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't watched that game, and I don't plan on it.
That thing don't even show up on my feed. What you mean?
Yeah.
Victoria says she got sponsorship ideas for us. I know that's right.
Keep them coming.
I don't rewatch losses. I haven't rewatched the Kentucky loss. Why would I? I haven't rewatched the Iowa game.
Download. Where's my good sister? Make sure I get Chai and Cupid in the click, please. I need to keep track of my niece and nephews.
My ride or dies. Who are our teams? Man, I have one team that's South Carolina. Then I have players that I fully support. And so because I support them, I root for their team. Tanaya Latson at Florida State. It's a struggle, but that is my girl, and I'm rooting for them. I am a big Hannah Hidalgo fan now, so go Fighting Irish. I don't know what the fight song is, but I'll have it learned by next year.
You gotta do the little jump Muffin me doing where you dance after the game over.
I'm about to be pulling up in green and shit. But I have a lot of favorite players, like Rakia. I love watching Rakia's game. Juju, love watching her. Trying to think. Lauren Betts, love her. Love her mom. Her mom's awesome. So definitely room for UCLA.
Shout out to Mama Betts.
Yeah.
I am definitely a team and player girly. I'm a graduate of the University of
log off.
4 years. So yes, South Carolina is home, ride or die. But I love Ohio State's women's basketball team. I always root for Iowa State typically. And then player wise, Lauren Betts, Lexi Donarski, JC Sheldon, Tanaya Latson, Deasia Fair, my good sister in Oregon. We got to free her, Grace Van Sluten. I'm missing a lot of people, but I got favorite players. You support my boyfriend Tyrese then,
and Big Audie Crooks. I'm a huge fan of Audie, and I'm gonna be tapped into Iowa State.
They're my kids, Addie Brown and Audie.
Yes.
I know I don't support your boyfriend. I'm not a Halliburton fan. It's just LeBron.
Sorry to hear that, Taylor.
Sometimes please. I thought Kay was his boyfriend. What happened?
He be jumping.
Shout out to Ariana for joining. Thank you for providing the phonetics. That way I ain't have to screw it up. Y'all know how I ride. It's Maryland because that's the home team. Trojans because I'm a graduate.
Period.
And I go up for small guards, and guards are like, I saw people saying Jalen the dog in the chat for sure. We are big Jalen Sherrod fans. We've had her on here. We love Jalen. But yeah, I just ride for I rock with Ashlyn, like Watkins is like that. Hannah is like that. I like all the young kids. I like the youth movement that we got going is going to be crazy.
Wire hangers to the damn rack.
Yeah, time for them to move on.
Also, we got a question from one of our click members. Is it time to free Tanaya? This is a hot take for me, though. I am not a fan of asking really talented players that are doing well at programs that maybe aren't winning or on the top to transfer. Only in very player specific reasons am I okay with them transferring. Because if all the best players are playing for the best teams, we don't get what we have this season. Hoops is thriving right now because a Caitlin Clark went to Iowa, because a Juju went to USC, because Asia Wilson went to South Carolina, because Tierra McCowan went to Mississippi State. we cannot have parity in the game if all the top players are at 5 programs. Now, that doesn't mean that like a team like South Carolina can't have top recruits on team, because again, there's 30 to 40, 50 top players every year. So of course you're going to get classes, But I like the game when good players go to multiple programs. And asking them to leave or saying like it's time for them to go just because their team maybe isn't winning. Well, let's also consider a player like Talia Scott isn't going to give Talia Scott numbers if Talia Scott isn't at Arkansas. Saw this season, Anissa Morrow can't give DePaul numbers at LSU. Is she still hooping? Yes, but it completely changes. Like Anissa Morrow isn't Anissa Morrow if Anissa Morrow didn't start at DePaul. HBL isn't HBL if HBL didn't start at Louisville. Like these top players have to go to other places in order to get the recognition. It might not be Caitlin recognition, but that's important to me. So that's my hot take.
Yeah, and yeah, she's hooping at Florida State. I like what Florida State just got to get some pieces around her, but I like her at Florida State. They stressed me out, but.
Okay. Any other before we wrap this thing up? Also, we got a question from one of our Click members. Do you have any more interviews coming up?
We're working on it.
We got some big stuff, crossing our fingers, that could potentially be in the works within the coming weeks. But also, if you know somebody that you want to see us chat it up with or chop it up with it, let us know, or reach out to them and have them reach out to us. I mean, we will definitely make something shake. But thank y'all so much for rocking with the Committee Sports Group. And did you hear I say committee? Because we got some committees on sale for y'all. So make sure y'all tap into the merch. We got some really dope hoodies.
Let me go get mine so I can show y'all.
I'm going to show y'all a few things, but we got some merch on sale for y'all. We got committed to the committee or committed to women's basketball merch on sale. We got some dope colorways. If you see B or Low at the SEC tournament, tap in with them because they might can help you order some stuff. We got some dope stuff for y'all. And also this one, I love this one. Committed to women's basketball. This is one of our new hoodies on sale.
It's threaded.
Make sure y'all it's threaded. So when you wash it, it's not going
threaded.
Yeah, it's not going come out. Like
I have to run upstairs and get this.
It needs a shirt and period. But yeah, we got some dope stuff. Also, y'all make sure y'all give a big shout out to Shay, the biggest Shay, for running our everything. Like Shay is behind, she is the technology behind the graphics, behind the videos, behind the clips, behind the YouTube, behind everything that we do that y'all love. That is all on Shay. So make sure y'all thank Show, and also surprise our good sis Jazz, because she is the thread queen and she never misses when she's shouting out the folks. Committed to Wide-Back Bigs, that might be on the way.
I mean, it's multi-purpose, right?
It is multi-purpose.
It's whatever you want it to be.
But thank y'all again, and we will do this again soon. Remember, we got some playbacks coming in. And just stay locked in with us. Thank y'all for those of you that joined the click. It's not too late. Peace out.